Okay, so let's unpack this. I want you to imagine a $5.8 billion energy revolution unfolding right now, down in South Africa's Eastern Cape.
Yeah, it's a massive shift.
Right. Especially for a region that's, historically been so shackled to coal. A pivot of that magnitude is just staggering. So today's deep dive is looking at what really seems like a masterclass in how a local economy makes a giant geopolitical leap.
Absolutely.
We've got a whole stack of sources detailing this transition to wind and solar. But frankly, when I first looked at this, something about those numbers just didn't add up to me.
Wait, how so? What didn't make sense?
Well, you don't spend nearly $6 billion just to, stabilize a local regional grid,
No, definitely not.
right? The return on investment simply isn't there if you're only selling clean electricity back to the Eastern Cape. So I kept thinking, what's the catch here? Where is all that power actually going?
And that is exactly the right question. Because it's the core of their entire strategy. They aren't actually planning to export electricity at all. Yeah, they are exporting fuel. They're using this massive investment to build one of the largest green ammonia plants in the entire world, right there on the coast.
Okay, wait, I want to pause there for a second
Hmm.
because green ammonia gets thrown around in energy circles a lot as this, this magic bullet. Let's break down the actual mechanics for everyone.
Sure, yeah.
How do we actually get from a wind turbine spinning on a hill to a liquid fuel that can power international trade? Like, what's the step by step?
Well, think of it as a method of chemical energy storage.
Yeah.
So you take all that intermittent renewable power, the wind and the solar, and you use it to run electrolysis.
Right, which is just the process of splitting water molecules to get the hydrogen, right?
Exactly. You extract the pure hydrogen. But here is the logistical nightmare with that. Pure hydrogen is just incredibly difficult and, frankly, expensive to transport across oceans.
Because it needs to be pressurized.
Yeah, it requires extreme pressure and freezing temperatures just to keep it stable.
Okay, so instead of dealing with that massive logistical headache,
Yeah.
you take that pure hydrogen and bind it with nitrogen pulled straight from the air, and boom, you get ammonia.
You got it. It basically acts like a giant liquid battery.
Which makes total sense, because you obviously can't plug a massive global cargo ship into a lithium-ion battery.
No, the batteries alone would be so heavy the ship would literally sink.
Right, so ammonia gives you a chemical fuel that is actually dense enough to cross an ocean, but totally without the heavy carbon emissions of dirty diesel.
Spot on. And the global maritime shipping industry is, they are desperate for this exact solution right now.
I bet.
What's fascinating here is the economic model. You're taking the specific natural geographic advantages of the Eastern Cape. So it's high wind speeds and intense solar radiation.
Yeah.
And you're weaponizing them against a massive, decentralized global problem like ocean pollution.
That is incredible. But, converting millions of tons of raw wind energy into a complex chemical fuel, that's not something you can just automate.
Oh, absolutely not. Like, you can't just flip a switch and walk away. You need a massive, highly specialized workforce to maintain that. Which brings us to the real socioeconomic ripple effect this has locally. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Because moving from extracting coal out of the ground to synthesizing complex chemical fuels, that is a generational leap in technical
A
skill.
total paradigm shift.
Right. Building and running a world-class green ammonia facility requires high-tech engineering, complex supply chain logistics, and advanced plant operations. It fundamentally rewrites the labor market for the entire region.
It's incredible geopolitical irony, really. Regions that were historically exploited for fossil fuels like these old coal hubs are suddenly perfectly positioned by their geography to become the new global energy superpowers.
It's a huge turnaround.
But I have to push back a bit just looking at the track record of these mega projects. Are they actually developing these advanced skills in the local youth, or are they just going to, import foreign talent to run the plant? Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the sources emphasize that this is designed from the ground up as a profound local skills boom.
Oh, really? So it's intentional.
Very intentional. Giving local youth these specific high-tech opportunities elevates South Africa's position entirely in the global market. They aren't just participating in the green economy by, say, buying imported solar panels and paying someone else to install them.
Right, they're not just consumers anymore.
Exactly. By anchoring the complex ammonia production locally, they are forcing a local...
It really does. And it leaves you with something fascinating to mull over. If South Africa can harness its natural geography to completely bypass coal and become the green fuel station for global shipping, What other unexpected regions in the world might be quietly preparing to power the next century of our green future?
It's a great question.
Keep an eye on those changing maps.